So he's making the media rounds now, talking about his book and having these interviews with individuals. Katie Couric, she interviewed him, and she pressed. She was trying to get John Fetterman to agree with her that Donald Trump is anti-democratic. He didn't take the bait. Watch.
When you consider some of Donald Trump's behaviors and policies, like deploying federal forces to U.S. cities, undermining the Department of Justice's independence, attempting to overturn the 2020 election, does that not trouble you deeply?
Well, of course. I was really the tip of the spear in the 2020 election in Pennsylvania. But I think at this point right now, we are not in an autocracy. We're in a democracy, and that's why they were able to shut our government down.
Do you think that Donald Trump is not conducting himself or not pushing policies, though, that you would consider to be anti-democratic?
What I'm saying is a Democrat with a 90% record voting Democrat. That's a fact. That's not my opinion. That's my numbers.
No, I'm talking about Donald Trump's, some of the things that he's doing.
If you believe we live in an autocracy, and I don't. And I think we can both agree that we don't agree with the vast majority of those things that's happened here right now. And I wouldn't do those things. We happen to have a different view of these things. It's like I don't call people fascists or Nazis or compare people to Hitler. And I think that's part of why we lost our election last year.
By the way, Katie Couric has revealed herself to be an ultra left-winger, and that's somebody who represented the #1 morning show for about, 15, 20 years? Mm-hmm. So that's fine, but people looked at her as an arbiter, I guess an equal arbiter for a while. I remember her interview with Bush 41 in the White House. And I'm not saying she's not great at her job, but what she was trying to do is just basically say, agree with me. Instead of asking Fetterman, what do you think? She's like, agree with me that he's terrible. And he's trying to say, no, that's his policies. I disagree. And our system's playing out. Do you think that President Trump is happy that a judge in Chicago is making him let out 600 people? That's called illegal aliens. That's called a democracy. Do you think he's happy that they're stopping the deployment of National Guard in Chicago and Seattle? No, but that's called a democracy. Judges push back on certain policies. They support other policies. I think the whole thing's working. You just don't like what he's proposing. You don't like the way he's president.
And in autocracy, you'd have a dictator. You'd have someone that would come in and say, no, this is what's happening.
Well, she is, here's Katie Couric, we haven't seen her in years. She resurfaces, and she is completely all in on this narrative.